Oh, Tian. Can't say I'm ready for this to end, and possibly in a bad way. But here we go. Sylvie, what's going on? Why are you summoning Bahamut? I can't run. What tells it to the overworld? This world will be destroyed ere long. But is Zephyr not the one controlling that Bahamut? See, he certainly doesn't appear to be giving him commands. I mean, obviously, Zephyr would never open a bunch of crazy space holes. Where were you in the first part? God damn it, Alia. I love you, but why were you not in the first part of this? Why did it take you so long to show up? God damn it, Alia, please! You're killing me, woman! What took you so long to not be in part 1? Ouchie, ouch. Bahamut is happening. Thanks for the explanation, Nedrick. He's trying to seize control of Zephyr's body just as he did with my own. This is his attempt to end his world, as long as any possibility of returning. Well, this is what happens when you try to steal something that was not incomplete in the first place. Sorry, Sophia. And another one. It appears Bahamut has completely seized control of it. So what are we supposed to do? I suppose the simplest solution would be to eliminate Zephyr. You shut your mouth, lady! Unlike Nedrick, she is not shapeshifting, which means we might be able to quell her without ending her life. If we could somehow cause her to lose consciousness briefly, then perhaps. If that is your plan, you must act at the perfect moment, for if she shapeshifts, all is lost. But Zephyr can't shapeshift into Bahamut. Can she? Oh, she most certainly could if she chose. She just hasn't done it due to the toll it would take on her body. And the cost would be high. If Zephyr, as she is now, were to shapeshift into Bahamut... Dude, don't leave us hanging! What happens? At best, she would never be able to return to her human form. At worst, she would vanish from existence. What? In other words, we must knock her unconscious without giving her a chance to shapeshift. Easier said than done. If we don't do this perfectly, we'll claim her life instead. If you are prepared for the consequences, I will help you. Abide the pact to become my strength, Bahamut! Now, Zephyr, or should I say, Bahamut, show us your true intentions. The equals? Until now, the Bahamut summoned by Zephyr cannot compete with the shapeshifter Nedrick. It is likely that Bahamut's influence has grown stronger, which is placing more of a burden on Zephyr. Must be cased. Nedrick, are you alright? Don't worry, I'm not going to lose to some pale imitation made of mana. Come on, we have to distract him. Why are you hesitating? Damnation! Top 10 lines better than damn, not heal. Pick up! Nice, no dialogue. Why the hell did you hesitate, you fool? I thought you were prepared to do this. I am, but if I had to get going, Sephia would have shapeshifted. In that instant, I knew Sephia would lose her body if I continued to knife foes. I saw no indication of shapeshifting. What made you think she would do so? I felt something. Flow of mana, maybe. Certain found hard to understand. The bond that connects a person and a dragon is like a thread. If you look at the flow of mana along that thread, you can tell whether or not someone is going to shapeshift. If you're talking about how one can feel the dragon's mana when one is shapeshifting, I understand, but if not... I'm afraid I can't tell when someone is going to shapeshift just by looking at him. Does this mean he alone can sense it because he can forge multiple packs? I don't know, maybe it could be. Or perhaps it comes down to experience. Merely being of the royal family doesn't mean you've had many opportunities to witness other shapeshifting. So it's a talent to follow due to the current turbulent state of the world. Wait, so none of you can sense that? It's just me? So it seems, and in that case it is all the more reason for you to steer your resolve. Moving forward, you may not have the luxury of worrying about what happens to Sephia's body. Wait, what's that supposed to mean? Just where is Sephia going? I don't think she fled. She likely headed for the canopy of the sacred tree. I'm guessing Bahamut is going to try to destroy the core and erase it from the world. The core of the tree was that light we saw before, correct? The will of the tree. The sacred tree is the pillar of the world and one of the things that maintains it. If lost, all of its existence will be one step closer to its destruction. Then we must hurry after them. Off to go to save her again! Because the motherfucking dragon this time around, I kidnapped her. Brought back into the plot for like a good few minutes and then just back to being the kidnapped victim. Back at the canopy, just that fast. It won't be that easy, Bahamut. Meanwhile, we're nearly at the top. Is everyone ready? It would suffice well to be resolved what may lie ahead. Namely, what do we do with Sephia? We're gonna save her, right? Right? We're gonna save her, right, guys? That is, of course, the intention. However, we would be forced to charge into this situation without an adequate plan. Okay, this is the sense of thought, okay. It should be possible, and it's likely our only chance to save her. However, what's the problem? The pseudo Bahamut Sephia's is the problem. If we enter her mind, our flesh remains sealed. It would be quicker and cleaner to pitch ourselves off the top of the tree rather than leave our bodies unattended with Bahamut reaching about. We need to sort things out with the Bahamut here before we attempt to enter anyone's mind. So, to do something about Bahamut, we have to go into Sephia's mind, but to go into Sephia's mind, we have to do something about Bahamut? If this is a joke, I ain't laughing. Shape or no, it is the reality we face. Well, what if we were to split into two groups? One deals with Bahamut in the real world while the other goes into Sephia's mind. It's a good plan, but right now, the only one who can actually manage to hold Bahamut back would be Nedrick. And without Nedrick, it's unlikely we can use Bahamut in Sephia's mind. Okay, enough of this circular logic. The Iberian royal family's been making pacts with dragons for hundreds of years now, yeah? In that case, you must have some kind of special tricks for when you lose control of a pack by dragon or something. I don't think it's quite that simple. A person doesn't... All form of pact with a dragon they cannot control to begin with. Those who are not qualified to do so simply do not become pact bearers. Actually, that's not quite true. Do you know something? There is a forbidden art passed down to the Iberian royal family which can share the load for those who cannot manage the burden of a pact. That's possible? Yes, the skill allows one to create a substitute that shares the pact's burden. I had no idea. If one cannot make a pact with a dragon, they have no right to rule Iberia. However, among the leaders of old, there were some of us who used this forbidden technique to form pacts and become monarchs despite lacking the talent. To do such a thing would be tantamount to betraying the kingdom and its people. But there's reason to believe it was done. I could think of rulers from the past who had no business calling themselves pact-bound. The royal family's history stretches back 3 centuries, and some of its moments are not, shall we say, outstanding. There was a dark side to that history that never sees the light of public scrutiny. And do you think we could use this technique to save Zephyr? I cannot state it conclusively, but the possibility exists that it could free Zephyr from Bahamut's grip and awaken it. And then we could subdue the waiting Bahamut. After that, we would just need to get the better off of Bahamut's will inside Zephyr's mind. I love it when a plan comes together. Let's do the thing. Of course, but there's a certain matter I'm not satisfied with. If you know some of the deepest, darkest secrets of the royal family, then you must be... I presume you'll be giving us a full accounting of who exactly you are, Nedrick? All will be explained in time, I swear it. But for now... we have to save Zephyr. On we go! No time to explain. Well, Rosy's back. Well, I mean, I've been reading the dialogue, but that was quick. It's not a problem for the present. Something wrong? You seem reluctant. Now it's time to act, Zephyr. You won't understand certain things better when we're faced with Palm as well. Prepare yourself to enter the world of Zephyr's mind. Something Zawadiel. Failed machinations. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. It's much more brilliant and colorful compared to Nedrick's. To me, it's a majestic temple, but if I recall, what we see merely reflects the perception of the one viewing it. Yes, what you see is determined by how each of you views Zephyr. Big honkin' building. Are you certainly not referring to something else, not? Oh dear, this is so embarrassing. Hey, wait, Zephyr, you look... normal. And what of you, Nedrick? It does not appear I am prevented from wielding my portion of his power here. But there is an embodiment of his will in this world, so it's probably best not to shapeshift carelessly. Speaking of which... Speaking of Bahamut's will, it sounds like the big fella has arrived. He comes. Bahamut, you must listen to me. I can't speak, I can only speak in an exclamation mark. It would appear he has no interest in talking. Does this mean he refused to pact with me after all? Bahamut's goal has always been to find a vessel and manifest in this world. His intent from the beginning was to dominate you. A true shared pact was never an option. Perhaps so, but until this happened, I felt as though Bahamut had accepted our pact. Yet he suddenly grew violent. Exclamation mark! This is all quite fascinating, but I feel we lack the least of time to spend on such erudite ponderings. We've one way forward now. We show Bahamut out what we're made of and make him see we'll never yield to his control. Smack was all the things, but still not enough. Unbelievable. We need so many attacks upon him, yet he shows not even a moment's sign of faltering. I suspect the brute force approach alone will not avail us here. What? Huh? What is it? It might just be my imagination, but it seems like Bahamut is suffering. I sense the same. I've had it ever since I was under his sway in the real world. He seemed to be suffering as if he were not in control of himself. Yes, that would make sense. Do you know something, Nedrick? Though my pact holds its own share of power, the Bahamut I forged it with is still the same being here in Sephia's mind. And yet I cannot feel any will from this Bahamut. But that would mean... No, it can't be! Exactly. Someone else's will is interfering. Meaning that the entity attempting to control Sephia is not Bahamut at all, but the one behind Bahamut. There's a mastermind behind the mastermind! So, someone's controlling Bahamut? But who or what could manage to seize control of the Roman Genesis? I don't know! Maybe the progenitor? I don't know, but the theory certainly explains the strange out-of-place feeling Sephia and I are having. Assuming what you're saying is right, what can we even do about it? I have one thought, and the key to it is you, Uden. Me? But what can I possibly do? You're finely tuned to the odds and the flow of water between people and dragons. Whoever's ultimately responsible for this is likely using the pact between Sephia and Bahamut as a sort of cover in which to conceal themselves. But you have the time to identify the foreign element hiding in their pact, and possibly even eliminate it. Look, I understand there's a connection between Sephia and Bahamut, but the rest of everything you said, I'm not intending for you to attempt this on your own. Rather, I plan to drag the responsible party to the open first. But how? By having Sephia attempt to shapeshift into Bahamut. Please, I was just talking about what a terrible flipping idea that was, my dude! Yes, but I only intend for her to start the shapeshifting process. The moment she does, the exchange of mana will activate. And that's where we'll discover our foreign influence. Once it's identified, you can cut it out. Understood. I'll give it a try. Thank you, Nedrick. Thank you for what? I'm just happy that you're trusting me and giving me an important role. You know, as if you're not the main protagonist already. Let's all get all middle toast here. There are some things that you can do that I cannot. It's as simple as that. Just make sure you do the job I assigned you to the letter. The rest of you keep up the attack on Bahamut. The more power he seeks, the stronger his connection to Sephia will likely become. Alright, let's get this done. Come on, everyone. Time for Bahamut Part 2. Bahamut once more. Who'd have thunk?
This is the final push.
Do not lose focus. Repent, sinner.
Drive Buster.
Deliver me.
Immaculate
Power of alchemy and dragons together.
back to the depths with you.
Time to delete the target. The dragon's power is within me.
There we go. Just as easy as this time round. Now Zephyr. Alright, back into secretary. Wait, now Zephyr. I'm good. Based on your feels, I assume you've regained how much power? Yes, I can feel straight again and straight. Any feeling right before I was controlled was gone. Well, that's great and all, but I'm still wondering who the heck had the ability and sand to take control of Bahamut. It must have been a being of equal power, a fellow creator of the one entire, something akin to the progenitor. Well, in that case, we should have seen more interference with progenitor. Or fairies, as that is the form it appears he has now claimed. He's right. It was not a progenitor, but it felt very similar. Which could mean, regardless of who it is that's trying to control Bahamut, there is one thing we have learned. You cannot resist the control of this being alone, Sophia. But had we not saved you, you would have become a mindless puppet of this mystery individual. The present threat of % may have dissipated for the moment, but that doesn't mean we've cut the problem out. The being will likely attempt to seize control again. Clearly you cannot be trusted with even a portion of Bahamut's pact. As such, you must surrender it to me at once. Hang on, Nedrick. Yes, Sophia may have been controlled for a moment, but we were able to get her back to normal. Yeah, and if it happens again, we'll just gang up and save her again. And therein lies the rub. How can we guarantee the same people will all be gathered together and ready to act if she falls under such as beings sway? At the women will require me, Jin, Aldrich, and Yuden. The four of us cannot simply stand by Sophia's side until the other time. Yeah, but Sophia, relinquish your pact to me. It's the only way to save this world and yourself. Nami no banana. And why not? What is the issue? You're an intense and rational person, Nedrick. Why are these notifications so much in my way? But why can I give you the whole of Bahamut's power? What? I know you have a cast society plan to give all the people the power of shapeshifting. If I relinquish Bahamut's power to you, you'll be able to realize the plan. This is the issue. There's a certain road near at hand and a certain one in the distance. It's not difficult to guess which one you, a logical man, would ultimately choose. Goodness gracious. You see the world clearly, Nedrick, but do you know its people? What are you trying to say? You want to save those without power, yet you are certain each and every one of them desires the same. You believe every person who lacks power seeks it down to the very last. This is because you were once one of those powerless. Raised amid misfortune, you instead use your poor circumstances to hone yourself. This is a splendid thing. So many notifications will pop again and I can't stop them all at once. But not everyone can be like you, nor does everyone desire to be. I cannot bring myself to entrust the power over an entire world to a man who does not understand that. If I could save the world while making sure each and every person was amenable to the method, I would. But as this is clearly impossible, we have no choice but to show them how things might be, to show them an ideal. And this ideal is you, I take it? You're more of a dreamer than I thought. I have no interest in attempting to work with someone who believes that they alone can save the world. Even with the best of intentions, power concentrated in one place is the seed of tyranny, and I will not abide it. Yet this is no fool's dream, for I have the will and ability to make it so. Someone must step forward and pave the way for the future, or none will ever follow. But can you truly bear it, Nedrick? I experienced for myself a fraction of Bahamut's vast power. The burden of a full pact is unimaginable. No matter how talented, determined, and prepared you all, I do not think you could withstand containing the entirety of the worm of Genesis within you. You're right, and I suppose you would know from experience. Remember how you were temporarily controlled by Bahamut? And that wasn't even a complete pact. The same unease you feel for Sophia would haunt us, which is why we're better off leaving things as they are. We do this for both of your sakes. Don't you people see that stagnation is unacceptable? Doing nothing means only that nothing will change! Okay, so I don't understand any of this, but I do believe in Sophia. And if she doesn't want you doing this, you better just back the heck off! Clearly I cannot make you understand. So be it. If I must go forward alone, this is exactly what I would do. If you are not still ready your pact, Sophia, then I will take it by force. Not happening, Nedrick. So you stand in my path again, you did. Your talents have changed so impressive, Nedrick, but you're not the only one in the world with such power. Why does everything have to end in a fight with you? Why are you always so determined to do everything alone? You do not understand, and I grew weary of attempting to explain it. This is what I need to be true to myself.
Nothing will sway me from my goals.
Goddess, deliver me!
Feast!
Alchemy will get us the win! Woo!
Indeed, we will be.
Your end comes now.
Princess!
Ha! Feast on pain!
This'll buff my appetite too.
Repent, sinner.
Die.
Power of alchemy and dragons together. Just a few more bites to join the Clean Plate Club.
Not now, Peckwingin.
Is the power of the Worm of Genesis.
In a future most bright.
Princess Strike.
Immaculate wings. Now, secure our victory.
Ducks.
I usher in a future most bright.
Release.
They don't call me the goddess for nothing.
There, there's a fight with Nedrick. Now can he join us, please? I just want to have a playable Archito member, even if it has to be the leader himself. Please. You finished. We're ending this, Nedrick. There's no point in not fighting any longer. What? You don't have any strength left. And no wonder, considering how often we fought and how many times you called upon Bahamut's power, even though you only did it once in that fight. You are wounded, weary, and spent. If we continue, you will likely perish. So this is... what, then? Pity? No, we need your strength. We have from the very beginning. Finding you to death serves no purpose. You have always been so soft, and I cannot stand it! Yep! Get out of my damn way! Enough, Nedrick. You know this is meaningless. There was no need for you to shoulder the pact with Bahamut and the fate of the entire world alone. And you just not bring yourself to forgive the one who was given all that honor to have been yours by right? To forgive Yuden? Do not belittle me so! My goals are far beyond such pettiness! There was no shame in fighting for small goals, Nedrick. The same power these people you seek to save have only small goals, yet fight was all they have for them. Why would you deny that idea? If you feel any enmity toward Yuden, then direct your hate to me, for I am the one who should bear it. What does that mean? My true name is Aurelius, and I am the damn fool of a king who caused the downfall of Alberiel. No, impossible! It can't be! There's no possible way this could be happening! I could not have seen this coming! I knew it! I knew you, our father! But then, what of your appearance? No, dear Shell, I am not your father. I am an Aurelius from another world, one where the flow of time has branched off in a very different direction. The Aurelius of this world died in battle with the other, a battle I survived. As my struggles continued, I became the man you now see before you. So, are you from the same different world as Senna, or a different world? No, my father, he... No, this Senna, this Zephyr, is from yet another world. Sadly, my Zephyr was slain by the other. My foolish actions led my world down the path to ruination. And when I came to this world, I decided to make penance for what I had done. More than anything, I am here to give you the many things I stole away. In other words, you are not a Aurelius at all, but a different man. I feel nothing for you. It's true that I am not the Aurelius of this world, but since I came here, I have experienced his memories in many ways, including upon this sacred tree. Sorry, my father's letter. He wrote that and he left his feelings in the sacred tree. Correct. And while I know not if it was coincidence or something else that guided me to this place, it is here that I received Aurelius' memories. I became one with his memories, and with his heart. Thus, it is accurate to say that I am both Aldrich and Aurelius. Who would have thunk? And now, Nedrick, I would never hear his thoughts about himself. I have little interest in what a dead man thinks of the child he tossed aside. It was not until some considerable time later that Aurelius learned of the survival of the true stuff of Sion. You, Nedrick. He thought long and hard about confessing everything and welcoming you as a prince. But he worried what it would mean for Yuden, who lived in your place. Though he fretted over it without pause, he could reach no good conclusion, and soon began to view himself as a vile and useless parent. Yet I fear neither hate nor disappointment, for I had no expectations for Aurelius to begin with. But though he was so ashamed to look you in the eye, there remained something he had to do for you. What was that? When Aurelius learned that Nedrick lived, he also discovered that he had been made Bahamut's vessel. After that, he bent his will to finding a way to freeing Nedrick from his burden. In the process, he found a forbidden technique which also saved Sephia earlier. Fascinating. But as the answer eluded him, he grew desperate. And in that desperation, he turned to something he ought never have. That's why he went to the Binding Ruins? He went there for the Sacred Shard, of course, but at the same time he was seeking a way to counter Bahamut. He was seeking the Udder. Oh, now that... Everything's starting to tie together now. Even when it didn't make no sense to begin with. Oh, poor Morsayati. Then you claim our father awakening Morsayati was no accident? So at the same time I headed for the dragon choosing, father went to the Binding Ruins to try to save Nedrick? Was so much misery ever caused by the foolish choices of a single man? Unbelievable. Aurelius spoke of this to no one, and not even to seek the aid of his old friends Finlord and Gatov. Why would he not come to me before casting his law with the Udder? Because he was afraid of showing he was weak in ugly sights. He feared he would disappoint those he trusted, and that they would abandon him. He need not have worried about such, especially considering that my own father was far weaker and uglier. In the end, being afraid to trust was the start of all this misery. So do not repeat my mistake, Nedrick. You must not fear trusting in others. The world is not so light that the burden of it can be borne by a single person. Which is exactly why I cannot entrust such a burden to others! Who can carry the world on their back? Who can I ask to take on such a task? Do not be afraid, Nedrick. Merely believe. If you do, I am certain those who are able to stand with you and bear those burdens will make themselves known. I swear this on the name of Arberius and all the regions of Arberia. A powerful oath indeed. Very well. Truly, Nedrick? Even without me, it would seem you are capable of finding the power to resist Bahamut. I am willing to leave the package with Sephia for now. Now, Arberius is all here. Sounds like it's settled. It does indeed. Thank you, all of you. And apologies again for all the trouble I have caused. With this, my part of the story comes to an end. Don't be daft, you got your children to... Aurelius? Aurelius, what's happening to the body? Time to get Pokemon Mystery Dungeoned away. I hate to say it, but it's true. He's being Mystery Dungeoned away, now that the truth is out. Father, what's happening? I fear my time is up. The heck does that mean? I am something that should not exist in this world and yet does. I am Aurelius and I am dead. I employed some rather forceful means to remain here, but they have reached their limit, and I am not being expunged from this world. But you will simply return to your original world now, yes? Alas, I have severed my bond in my original world. This illusion is the fate which we relate to now. There must be something we can do. Do not trouble yourself. In truth, I should have died along with my world. But I came here instead so I might make something that could be left to my children. That alone is enough. Father! I am sorry, my children, but the progenitor, as well as whatever is lurking behind Bahamut, still remain. Though your fight must rage on, I will no longer be able to offer my aid. Then rest easy, Father. If we without you, we will not lose to the likes of them. I swear that we shall see good tidings bid unto the heavens, Father. I'll see our duty done, even if it comes at the cost of my life. Please don't say as much. I'm not if you're taken after my fool. Please. Forgive my asking you, Gatov, but pray watch over my children. They all bear a heavy burden, and will most likely need your aid. Of course, old friend. I'm rather used to taking care of people who are good at getting into trouble after all. Yudin, Nedrick, I can see the pair of you join hands in my last moments sent me off as a odd light into my happiness. Father! Farewell, my children. Okay, so he's just straight up dead now. He's just straight up dead now. Not even Mystery Dungeon away, he's just permanently dead. A few days later, we're not even gonna get a chance to get a break from that. Grams? I'm afraid so. Reports claim a fire demon called Satan has appeared there and caused terrible damage, leaving the holy city in shambles. My kids report much the same. Damnation! I hope everyone's alright. If you wish to help, I can send you there with fairy teleportation magic. It's possible this is yet another of the progenitor schemes, which means we cannot afford to ignore it. Whatever it is that big jerk, we gotta go there and help folks. It is also imperative that we locate a means to deal with the progenitor besides giving the power of shapeshifting to Wall. Say, how's Nedrick doing, Shinoda? He is convalescing at my villa in the suburbs of recovering at pace. And too bad he's not around, even though he'd probably be all, I'm not here to make friends, or whatever. Well, you can't just expect us all to become bosom companions right away. Still, if he's recovering, then we should split up. Group looking for different ways to deal with, but the progenitor shouldn't need that much playing power after all. But I need the two people who made pacts with Papa, so Nedrick and Zephyr and Genoda should stick with me and help with the search. Everyone else can head to Grams. How's that sound? What? We have to be separated from Zephyr again? It is what it is. Right now we've each got things we have to do on our own. I don't want everything followed us to go to waste. Also, you're back to normal somehow. Okay, well, I'm super bummed about splitting up again, but I'll find like an angry red cat after it takes. And then that's where the Face Forsaken event happens. So Nedrick's not dead. We just don't have him playable yet. Ugh. Ah, 23. I just really hope we get Nedrick is playable soon. I'm glad we didn't kill him, but God, it could have been so close to that. They could have been so jerkish with that. So awful, I can't wait to beat that progenitor right into submission. I'll see you guys then.